All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to this Wednesday morning call. We were not with you on Monday due to Veterans Day, but thank you to all the veterans and their families for everything that you guys have sacrificed for and gone through so that we can have the amazing things that we have and the freedoms that we have here. So hopefully you and your families got to enjoy that little bit of a long weekend. You got to soak it up and have some fun out there. And today's call, we're going to talk about creating an impact, all right, through this business and how to do that. Okay. But before we jump into that on this Wednesday morning call, let's give a big shout out to the top 20 from last week. What a week it was. Okay. Coming in the top 20, we had Rebecca, we had Allison, Becky, we had Scott. Shout out to Scott. He had a big week, one of his first big weeks since kicking off here not too long ago at FFA. Big shout out to Julie. Julie's always finding herself in the top 20. Stephanie with a big week. Ray with another big week. Jess Graham with a huge week. We had Jenna, like always, dominating out there, having a big week. Big shout out to Jody for crushing it and finding herself in the top 20. We had Kirk in the top 20, like always. Big shout out to Kelly finding herself in the top 20. Jennifer in the top 20. Kelly, big shout out to her. She crushed it. The Gilbert girls as a whole last week were dominating it as a team. Avery with another big week going over 5K. We had Joni with a phenomenal week like usual. Dougie Fresh leading the way like he always does. Nice work to you, Doug. Big shout out to Savannah and Aaron for both finding themselves in the top 3 with a huge week last week. And then let's give the agent of the week a big shout out, none other than Kay, going over $11,000 in a week, which is phenomenal. So huge week to Kay. Congratulations to you for leading it and taking home agent of the week last week. So nice work to you guys. Always dominating it. And hey, if you can find yourself in the top of the chart and the top of that leaderboard, you know you're doing things right. So way to push out there. And if you didn't find yourself in there last week, hey, it's never too late, right? We're starting off at 0 for this week. So now is the time to find yourself in that leaderboard role. So let's run hard together and get your name up there into the top charts. So today, let's talk about creating an impact. You know, I was sitting there brainstorming, thinking about what should we talk about on today's live call. And really this word just was the first thing that came to my mind, right? Creating an impact, having a strong effect on someone or something. That's what you guys get to do every single day, right? You get to do that with the clients that you're serving, with their families. You get to do that with the new agents that you're bringing onto your teams, bringing onto your agencies. And so we're going to dive into how do you create that impact in this industry? How do you look at your agency right now and create that? Okay. Because believe it or not, I believe that you found yourself at this company in this job for a specific reason. And if I look back on my life, I realize I'm usually in a certain spot at a certain time for a reason that's usually not geared towards myself. It's usually geared towards impacting somebody else, right? I believe God uses you in a way that you can impact other people. He puts you in roles that you might have never seen yourself falling into, right? I would have never saw myself running a conference call on a Wednesday morning talking about this, right? But boom, here I am. I'm sure there's been situations with you in your life that you just found yourself in a role and you might not have understood why, right? You might not have understood why you were in that job, why you were in that role, or what you were doing, right? It's funny how he works. It's funny how he puts things in certain places to be able to help, right? It's funny how a lot of times people come into your life from a certain role and they're able to help you that you were not expecting it to, right? So he is the all-knowing, and I believe that we're here for this specific reason, right? To have a strong effect on someone or something to be able to help them. So how do we do that? Okay, let's talk about it in terms of this career, all right, in terms of helping people through this career. So check out this article. This was the first article that popped up when I pulled up my internet browser, right? I wasn't even searching stuff, but this was like the one of the top things that showed up. Okay, it says about 1 in 3 Americans making six-figure salaries are worried about paying their bills, right? How crazy is that? And you think about the word six figures, right? I know right now that's kind of like, I feel like you have to make that to be able to breathe, right? In the way that the economy is and the way that everything else is, right? The house that costs $180,000, right? Check this out. Alicia and I's first house, we bought it back in 2012 or 13. I think it was 2013. It cost us right at like $182,000, which back then seemed just mind-blowingly expensive, right? And that same house just sold, I think it was like last year, sold for almost $400,000. Nothing in the house changed. The house actually got older, right? It's just worse condition, but look at the cost difference, 4 or 5 times as much. If you look at the average income per family from 2012 to now, most people's incomes, most people's salaries have not changed by 4x, right? The person that was getting paid $60,000 a year, chances are is not getting paid close to 200 right now. So that can show you guys how much need there is for people to be able to have financial freedom, right? And that's what this job can give them. Whether they're doing it part-time or whether they're doing it full-time, it can really fix, right, the financial imbalance between what things cost and how much people make. All right. And so if we look at it like that, 1 in 3 Americans making six-figure salaries are worried about paying their bills. 1 in 3. That doesn't even talk about the families out there that are making less than six figures, right? Probably probably didn't put that stat in there because probably all of them are worried about paying their bills. Okay, I believe that we serve a prosperous God that doesn't want us to be out there stressed out figuring out how are we going to pay for our bills. He'd rather have us enjoying the life that he gave us, right? So how do you create an impact? The reason I wanted to do this call, guys, is because you have the chance to impact the people that you know to be able to fix this issue, right? To be able to bridge that gap for them. All right. So how do you do it? Number one, you have to make the decision to answer that calling. All right. I'll give you guys a little secret. I didn't really feel like, all right, it was my goal in life to be able to talk to people about a job and fixing the financial imbalance stuff. Like that wasn't where I pictured my life going. But here I am doing it. Why is that? Because I feel like it's an actual calling. You know, have you ever kind of wondered like what your purpose is in life? And then eventually it just kind of hits you like, hey, this is what I'm supposed to do, right? That's kind of how this company came about. Because even though we might not feel qualified, all right, to answer that calling, we have the opportunity to have the courage to do it anyway, right? And I think that if you're being called to do something, that you should just run full force in it, not really worry about if you're qualified, not qualified, whatever, right? Like that's your calling. That's what's ahead of you. And if you're listening to this call right now, that should be a sign that that is your calling, right? You have the chance to actually impact a lot of families out there by being able to answer that calling to help them get through this financial imbalance, all right, to make a real difference in their life so that they don't have to worry about inflation and paying their bills and all of that crazy stuff. So the first step in creating an impact through this job is to make the decision to actually answer that calling, right? To talk to people about how this career could change their life. Okay. Whether it's doing it part-time or full-time, either way, right? Think about your friends, your family, what would an extra $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, all right, in just completely addition to what their normal job is, right? What would that do for them? What if they could sell one or two policies a week, right? And be able to cover all of their bills. All right. And then what they make off their regular job, that's just extra, right? That they can live off of and have fun off of, right? Go out to eat, all of that stuff. There's a lot of people that just a little bit of extra per month would make the world of difference to. There's a lot of people out there that are in a full-time role right now that they can't stand, right? There's a lot of people out there that are in a job that dictates when they have to work, right? They got to work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. They got to work 12-hour shifts 3 days a week, whatever it is. There's a lot of people out there that wish they had time back with their families, but they have no avenue to be able to get that time back, right? And this calling, this job could actually do that for them, right? I'm so grateful that we were able to find ourselves in this industry and in this job, because that's what it gave Alicia and I back. It gave us time back with our kids that we just didn't have. It gave us time back with each other that we did not have, right? We used to be tag team parents. She would work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I would leave at 6:30. We'd high five each other. And then I'd work all day, come home, and she'd leave. We saw each other maybe an hour out of every single day, right? Our kids barely saw us. So there's a lot of people looking for an opportunity for a specific reason, but you, as the agency builder, have to be able to make the decision to answer the calling that you're actually going to go out there and try to create that impact for people, right? And guys, I really do believe that the more people you impact, the more kind of comes back to you at the same time, right? Obviously, you don't run at this to just benefit yourself, but when you're out there helping other people in this industry, it ultimately builds up your business, builds up your agency, and it's going to help you a lot in the process as well. So, number one, you have to make a decision to answer the calling. Okay. What are some things that are going to come up that will prevent you from doing that? You don't feel qualified to do it, right? Number one, you just feel like, you know, it's not me, right? I'm not qualified. Let somebody else do it. So that's number one roadblock that you're going to have to get over. Okay. Number two, you're going to have to get over the roadblock of thinking that you can't do it, right? Guys, believe it or not, you have everything inside of you right now to answer the calling that's ahead of you. All right. You just got to just forget the self-doubt and all of those things, right? And then number three, a myth that I see usually prevents people from chasing their calling in life is you think you don't have the resources to do it, right? A lot of people think, hey, I'm going to answer that calling when I get this, right? I'm going to be happy, all right, when I pay my car off, when I pay my house off. But in the meantime, I'm not going to be happy. So there's a lot of different mental blocks that you have to overcome to create an impact out there in the community. And those are just some of them, but you got to be willing to first answer the calling, right? So that's number one. Number two, all right, find those needing help. So it's one thing to say, hey, I want to create an impact, but it's another thing to be able to find the people that actually need your help. Okay, not everybody needs or wants your help. All right, and that's the hardest part about answering a calling is you're trying to find the select few people that actually need your help. All right, and so once you make the decision to answer that calling, how do you find those needing your help? Guys, I think they're right in front of you. I think that people needing your help will naturally be able to find you. All right, it's kind of opposite, right? When people need your help, they have a way of being led to you. All right. And so look around, right? Look at your friends, look at your family members, look at the people, you go into the grocery store, the person that's stocking the shelves at 12 o'clock at night, right? Or 11 o'clock at night. I don't know about you guys. We do our grocery shopping late sometimes, right? By the time we get home, put kids to bed and all that. Look at the person working 3 jobs. Look at your friend who might be a single mom trying to raise kids, and she's working 2-3 jobs to make ends meet. Like there's so many people out there. Look on your Facebook feed. Look, try to follow people's stories, see what they're going through in life, right? You're going to be drawn to and led to people that need your help, just like they're going to be led to you. All right. So that's number 2 in creating an impact. All right. And building your agency up is find the people that need that help. And there's a lot of them out there. Okay. Like you saw that article, 1 in 3 making over 6 figures. Guys, most Americans don't make 6 figures. That means pretty much 3 out of 3 out there need your help and are looking for something, right? So you have pretty good odds at finding the people out there that need your help. So number 3, are they a good fit? All right, guys, check it out. Believe it or not, sometimes people are in a certain circumstance in life because of their attitude, the decisions that they made, right? And that's just why they are where they are. And so when you're looking for people to impact and you find people you think need your help, right? Your next step is to find out if your opportunity and what they're looking for is a good mesh, right? It's a good fit. It's a good fit for you. It's a good fit for them. So how do you do that? I want to talk to you guys quick about interview questions. I know on the last builders call and in the building chat, right? A lot of you guys talk about, well, how do you interview people, right? Like if you're looking for agents to join your team, if you're looking to share this opportunity with people, what do you say? How do you interview them? What does that look like? Guys, it's really simple. Okay. To figure out if they're a good fit, you just have to figure out, all right, what are they looking for? What do they want out of an opportunity? So I just asked that simple question. What are you doing now? And is this what you want to do forever? Right? Is this like, do you see yourself working where you're at forever? What do you want out of life? Listen to what they say. They're going to tell you if they're a good fit for or not. Right? And here's a clue, right? I'm looking for positive, optimistic people because those are the people that are actually going to be a good fit for you, for your team, for your agency, right? They might be down in the dumps right now. Maybe financially they're strapped. They're working 2, 3 jobs to get by. They might be down in the dumps, but they're still optimistic, right? That's a good sign for me. I don't really work with people that complain a lot. I just would rather not do. I'd rather not put up with it, right? Because people who complain a lot will always be in the same spot they are. That's just the way it works. It doesn't matter if you give them a $30,000 a year opportunity or $1 million a year opportunity. They will always be in the same spot, same mentality. They're not going to be happy when they make 30 grand. They're not going to be happy when they make $1 million. They're just not a good fit, right? So I'm looking for people who don't complain. I'm looking for people who are optimistic, people who, they honor their work ethic, right? It doesn't matter what job they're working, but whatever they're doing, they do it to the best of their ability and they honor that, right? They work as if they're doing it for the Lord, just like the Bible says. So those are the kinds of people that I'm thinking would be a good fit, right, to join my team. That's what you should try to figure out on the interview call. Are they that kind of person? Or are they that kind of person that even when you do everything for them, it's never good enough? It's just the world's out to get them, right? They're a doomsday prepper, right? Those people are not going to be a good fit because they're just not going to be able to take the opportunity in front of them and run with it. Look for people that have a great mindset, great attitude. So let's talk about some interview questions, right? That was the first one. What are you looking for? Are you happy where you're at, right? Is this where your dream job? Is this what you're doing forever? All right. Really the next question I'm looking for is what are they willing to put into this to change their circumstance? All right. You saw that 1 in 3 making over 6 figures is worried about paying their bills. Below that's probably 3 out of 3. What are they willing to do to change that? Okay. I remember us being in this situation. I was willing to work a full-time job, right? 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then go knock on doors, introduce myself, sit down with people, talk about their life insurance needs. I was willing to work this second job after working a full-time job until like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night every single day and on Saturdays to get us out of the hole that we were in. Alicia was willing to do the same thing. Is a person you're talking to willing to put that kind of work in? Because if they're not, their circumstance is not going to change, right? You can present an opportunity, you can teach it, you can coach it, but it's ultimately up to them to have the drive and work ethic to be able to do that. So one interview question that I like to ask is, what are you willing to put into it, right? To get the goal that you wanted that we talked about earlier. See what they say, right? If they're like, hey, I'm not really willing to work on a Saturday, their circumstance is not going to change, right? It's probably not going to be a good fit. If they're not willing to go invest in themselves, right? Invest in leads. If they're not willing to be coachable, all these different things, it's not going to change for them. So guys, you're not looking to impact everybody. It would be amazing if we could do that, but some people just don't want that, right? You're just looking to impact the select few people that really need your help. All right. So some simple interview questions as you look for people to help and collaborate with. What are they doing now? Where do they see themselves? What do they want out of life, right? What are they willing to put into it to get that? Okay. I love it when somebody says anything. I will do anything, right? To get out of the hole that I'm in, right? So think about those questions. Okay. And then the last thing I'm looking at trying to create an impact and help somebody is, are they going to be accountable, right? Guys, if you're looking for agents to join your team, to join this company, you want to know if they're going to be accountable. Can you count on them, right? If they told you they're going to do anything and everything to get out of the hole that they're in, but then, it's 2:00 on a Tuesday and you don't hear from them and they're not out there working and getting after it and trying to change their circumstance, they're not going to be accountable. So accountability leaves clues. Okay. Look at what they're doing right now. Look at how they perform in their job right now. See a track record of accountability. That's a good clue that they're going to be successful working alongside of you as well. And if they're not, right, if there's somebody who's like had 15 jobs in a year, never was accountable for any of them, all right, or if they're already a licensed agent, they've switched companies 17 times in the past 2 months, right? They're not going to be accountable. It's not going to be a good fit. So this word impact, all right, is a big responsibility, and it's a big responsibility for you so that you're helping people, but at the same time, you're not wasting their time. You're not wasting your time. So think about this, guys, as you go into the rest of this week. Who are the people that you can actually impact? The more people that you impact, the bigger your business will grow. The more fulfilled you're going to feel in your work when you see that your efforts are actually changing somebody else's life, right? Changing somebody else's family's legacy, right? They're getting out of those generational curses. All right. You're going to feel very, very fulfilled. When we first started in this industry, in this job, our goal was to just pay off some debt. That was it. All right. But what happened after we did that, it was like, well, what's next, right? The fulfillment that I get from seeing somebody else's life change, just seeing them get out of the 9-to-5 rat race, seeing them be able to save money for the first time ever, seeing them be able to give back to people for the first time ever, seeing that freedom for them gives me more fulfillment than anything that I've ever actually done for myself. So as you guys are looking at this question of answering that calling to create an impact, think about that. Okay. What's going to make you feel fulfilled? All right. And being able to help other people, bring people closer to God, bring people closer to financial peace is such a good way to find that fulfillment in life. But it all starts with impacting other people and going through these steps. So hopefully that call helped you guys some. I appreciate you guys for jumping on here. It's Wednesday. We're off to an awesome start this week. Let's keep pushing hard. Shout out to the top 20. Production numbers for last month are going to be getting wrapped up here soon and sent out to you guys. So I can't wait to see who's hit some promotions. We got a lot of new agents that are on the track to hit those promotions. So can't wait to see that. But I appreciate you guys for jumping on here. We will be back here on Friday.